What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. In this video, I've got a really important AMC update to bring all of you this afternoon. So what we're going to be covering in this video is, yes, we are going to be going over the Ortex short interest and utilization data like we always do, go over exactly what we are seeing in terms of the options chain. But what we are really going to be talking about in this update, there are a lot of messages that I really want to get out to you guys. We're going to be talking about what the real play on AMC is. What are we dealing with here, and what do we have going forward? Now, in addition to this, over the last week, we have kind of seen the FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, reach an all-time high. And it's really caused a lot of stress and discouragement on the community. So there are a lot of things that I really want to get across to you guys. So before we get into all of that information, if you enjoy the information and analysis that I provide for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And in addition to this, if you guys could just leave a comment down below what you guys are feeling and what you guys are thinking about what we have going forward with AMC. So at the current time that I'm recording, we are down about 8% on the day. Now, when you think about this, there was no big piece of news that came out that would cause this big price movement on AMC, and we're going to go over exactly what our expectations should be going into these types of moves. But in general, when we are looking at the chart with AMC and where the price levels that we are at the current time are, we're at a very comfortable spot. We ripped up to 77, we came back down, we were bouncing around, we touched that low of $28, and now we are back in this upper $30 range. We are kind of trapped, as I said in yesterday's video, in this little bit of a range before the next catalyst and before we could see that next amount of buying volume push us back up to the upside. Now, when we come over to this Ortex data right here, let me just do a quick refresh. We are seeing utilization 87.36, a little bit higher than we were seeing at one point this week. And we are also seeing the estimated short interest at 16.37%. So you know what this tells us? Based off of solely the estimated data from Ortex and the exchange reported short interest, the shorts have not covered. Now, in addition to this, we were seeing the max pain price at this $40 strike. But when you look at this chart in terms of the calls and the puts, the open interest is vastly outweighing and overweight on this call side, meaning that for every single options transaction, there's going to be a buyer and a seller. The seller always wants these contracts to expire worthless. So if they can push the price deep down into where there's a heavy concentration of these puts, all of these contracts are going to be expiring worthless. Now, let's get into this whole situation that we have with AMC. And I really want to get into the concept of money in trading. Like I said before, the emotions and the discouragement and the stress and the FUD that we've seen in this community, in my opinion, has really been at an all-time high over the last couple of weeks. And we've really seen it built up until today. Now, when we think about what is going on, any type of investment in the market, whether it is trading, whether it is long-term, but more specifically long-term, there is usually a set it and forget it mentality. And I think a lot of people are really looking for this squeeze to happen right now. And what I want to tell you guys is that this is not some sort of get rich quick overnight or any type of situation like that. We saw what happened in January and we saw what happened in June, and where we are at right now, nothing has changed. But what I do want to point out is that since emotions are so high right now, your emotions are not helping you, and they are doing the exact opposite. They are hurting not only you, but the whole retail investor base. And I want to make sure that is clear to everybody. The first thing that we need to think about is, why has algorithmic trading become so popular and so successful? Well, one of the main reasons is that when you are trading on an algorithm, it takes away that human emotion aspect. Are you going to FOMO in? Are you going to cut profits early? Are you going to freak out about a position that you want to enter or maybe not enter? What these algorithms are programmed to do is operate on a very specific set of if-then statements. If we see this out in the market, the algorithm is going to do this. Now, an example of how these algorithms are also programmed to basically take advantage of your human emotion actually comes from Ken Griffin himself. These algorithms are programmed to detect the emotional moves. And when we take a look at this video right here, what Ken Griffin is essentially saying is that the capital that is being deployed with these algorithmic trading strategies is at an all-time high. And what their algorithms are able to do is basically take advantage of human emotion out in the market. So when we start to see the infighting between GameStop and AMC on Reddit, we see all of this FUD and drama being spread on Twitter. We see people starting to freak out in YouTube comment sections. And then we start to see the price move and everybody starts to get emotional. You are literally giving these big institutions with their giant algorithms the exact tools that they need to take advantage of you and your portfolio. Now, I also want to talk about expectations. We are all operating and investing under the impression we have built up based on our research that our market is not operating the way that it should and it is manipulated. So when we see the short interest like we saw in that GameStop report fall significantly, but it turns out the shorts didn't really cover enough to make that happen, or the dark pool percentage is extremely high, or payment for order flow still being a problem, or those idiots in the media outlets trying to spread all of that FUD about how the MOAS hasn't happened, or anything around that, where people are saying that they are short on AMC for these specific reasons, where the apes are able to just easily disprove all of those theories, or when the price drops like we saw today. Now, when we're thinking about what is going on today, if we really believe all of those impressions and expectations in the research that we have done over the last 9 months, what did we expect to happen? We should expect these types of things to happen. We should expect the dark pool volume to be that high. We should expect payment for order flow to still be a problem. We should, when we see these price movements like this, it shouldn't be something that freaks everybody out about their investment. It's something that is essentially going according to the exact plan that we have kind of outlined and exposed over the last 9 months. So what does this mean? This doesn't mean that AMC or GameStop is anywhere near close to being over, or we aren't going to see the largest squeezes ever. But at the same time, nobody knows when this has happened. And for that matter, even if this is going to take a long time to play out, and this is something that I've been trying to preach for a while. But when we zoom out on the chart, and we take a look where we have been over the last year, look at this price point right here, $1.91 on AMC. The current trading price at the time that I'm recording, $36.28. The shorts still have not covered. We still have a long way to go in making sure our market is going to be much more free and fair, and we still have a lot of things to accomplish. Now, going back to emotions, I know a lot of people are seeing all of these other stocks start to make these monster moves up too, and are wondering why AMC has not been doing the same thing. But when we look at this chart, we've seen AMC do it twice over the last year. And here's the other thing. We know for a fact that since we don't really know, so that was a weird way to put that, since we know for a fact that we don't know when AMC is actually going to have that very, very significant run-up, but what we do know is that it can happen at any given time. Remember back in August when we were really getting into the dog days of this downturn. We started to base, and then there was one day in particular where we absolutely shot up, and it started that next run-up to that $50 mark. A little bit over, we hit that 52. This could happen at any time. It could happen Monday. It could happen a week from now, a month from now, 3 months from now. But what we really need to think about here is that nothing has finished and nothing has changed. So what is the real play on AMC? So in my opinion, it really comes down to you. What are you going to do? Do you have the conviction? Do you have the ability to learn from our experiences of what happened with those big price movements in June and January? And are you going to learn from those experiences and the feelings that you had during those price run-ups to be able to diamond hand your position if that is what you want to do? Or are you going to let your emotions get the best of you and feed right into the massive weapons that those large institutions have that they are using against us every single day? Now, like that one scene in The Big Short, this is what this play comes down to at the current time. We are going to wait. We are going to wait and we are going to wait until they feel the pain, until they start to bleed. Because think about it. What is the alternative? We have come this far, and I think Matt Kors is the one who said this. We did not come this far to only come this far. Now, the last thing that I really want to address to you guys and kind of look at this from a broad perspective is, did you know about dark pools, high frequency trading, failure to deliver, naked shorting, how to synthetically short with the option chain or to hide short positions in the option chain, or how messed up our market is, or how to use technical analysis or options trading or strategies? I think that everybody has such a vast bank of knowledge now going through this situation. And once we end up seeing AMC and GameStop, these squeezes eventually play out in the future, whenever it does happen, it is not going to be the end. We are going to have so many knowledgeable, educated retail investors that are able to see what is going on in the market and use that information to benefit not only them, but their families, their communities, charities, and anything else that they want to accomplish in the rest of their lives. So that is going to wrap up this update on AMC. If you enjoyed the information and analysis that I provided for you in this video, make sure you go down and hit that like button. It costs you nothing to do it, but it really helps us out a whole lot in getting this information out to as many people who want to learn. And if you guys want to see more videos like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video, so you get to stay up to date on all of your favorite stocks, learn about a couple of new ones, and see exactly which options I am trading and which strategies I am using to trade them. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next video.